Bounce, 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 bounce. Mind dump with Jordy Jets. Welcome to Mind Dump with Jordy Jets. Excuse the intro. I just felt like recording today. I did not plan it. I did not create an intro. No intro music for this one. Maybe for the next episode. But who cares, bro? I just wanted to get this out there. We're going to start, the topic today, who knows? We're going to raw dog this whole thing, as the kids say. If you don't know who I am, I understand. I have another podcast called Jet Fuel podcast I do with, my co-host, David. We call him Dirty Dan. But, if you were following that, we were trying to get into like conspiracies. That's how we were doing that podcast. But we decided to do a split. This is where the conspiracy is going to go. On Jet Fuel podcast, it's going to be mostly just bro talk, I guess. More of a comedy spin to current events. Just talk about shit, whatever. But on this one, Mind Dump, it's just going to be me. I'm going to get guests. And this is the place where I just wanted to make a space for the heavy topics. You know, we're going to get into, metaphysics. The Bigfoot being an interdimensional being. That's something new to me. I thought he was just some type of animal, a missing link, but now, he's interdimensional. I got a guy that should come on soon. He's going to talk to us about Old World Florida and Tartaria. I'm really into that Tartaria stuff. I've been digging into that. I know a lot of people have been looking into that. And the technology. One thing I've been looking into were the bells. Like, what were the bells really being used for? I heard people were going into those cathedrals that they weren't really churches. The cathedrals were originally, like a healing center. Like the vibrations and frequencies of those big ass bells, when they ring it, I guess they give off a specific frequency, vibration that connects to your body and, heals you or whatever. I don't know. And they also use the organs that way too. Those also give off that frequency. What else can we talk about? Shoot. Interdimensional beings there. CERN. Hold on now. I want to get into CERN real quick. Y'all know what CERN is. They have that Hadron Collider. I think that's how you pronounce it. About like last year, they talked about, they told us about a phantom that, like, when they turned it on, they experienced a phantom came through for a few seconds. I don't believe it's for a few seconds. I think that thing is walking around right now, or they got it locked up somewhere. But a few days ago, what's today? May 17th. I think on May 8th, they turned it back on. And they were doing some alchemical shit. You know what I'm saying? They were using lead atoms, and they were turning it into gold. And once again, they said it was just for a few seconds. But shit, if you can make gold, why wouldn't you keep it? I'm pretty sure they know how to keep it. Here is the article. Let me share the screen real quick. All right, so this is from USA Today. The topic is how CERN turned lead into gold. Very briefly, in parentheses, in the Large Hadron Collider. It says that in CERN's Large Hadron Collider, researchers crashed beams of lead ions into each other at near light speed. While some ions collided, others did not. In the near collision, some lead ions lost 3 of their 82 protons, turning the ions into gold atoms, which only have 79 protons. So yeah, that's some medieval alchemist shit that they're doing. And we didn't even hear that they turned it on. All we heard about is like Diddy stuff. Of course, that's like a misdirection, distraction. But like, dude, if you could create gold, that kind of like lowers the value, wouldn't it? Let's see. And another thing, did y'all know that the Large Hadron Collider is 17 miles long? I thought it was just in a building. I thought it was just in one building in CERN. Nah. If you could see on the screen, that thing looks like it's going around the whole city. So when they turn it on, they're sending particles all around the city for an experiment. I'm wondering if they know, like the people around. Of course they know. I saw that video of the sky turning into like a portal. Did y'all see that shit? I ain't gonna bring it up right now. I can't find. I didn't think I was gonna bring that up, but yeah, I think like when they turn it on, like the sky does something weird. It looks like a matter of fact. Let me bring it up. Turn Skype. Let me share this tab right here. And if you want to see this, it's gonna be on Spotify. This is where the video will be on. I could try to put the video on YouTube, but the podcast is going to be available on everywhere you listen to podcasts, but the video is 100% going to be on Spotify. So if you're watching on Spotify, shout out. Okay, so basically this happened the last time, or one of the times that they turned on the Hadron Collider. The sky was doing this weird thing, and people were like, yeah, they're creating a portal. But shit. Y'all see that? Oh, let me share it. Boom. All right. And I'm wondering if that's like 17 miles long in, I guess, circumference. Weird shit. And I thought that shit was in America. I guess not. It's over there in like by Switzerland. All right. Let me stop sharing that. All right. So enough with that, CERN. So yeah, that's the type of like topics we're going to go on. We could talk about like Illuminati, you know what I'm saying? All that elites eating mermaids. Y'all heard about that one too? We'll bring that up later on. But in this episode, I want to focus on manifestation, frequencies, vibrations, focusing on preserving my LOOSH. Y'all know what LOOSH is? Definition of LOOSH: a form of energy or life force generated by living beings, particularly humans, through emotional experiences. And one way I've been trying to preserve my LOOSH, I started a little personal movement, all right? I quit some things. I quit weed, alcohol, and porn. Call this movement No WAP. WAP. Of course, not wet ass pussy, not women as president. Weed, alcohol, and porn. We're gonna cut that all out. It's been still in my LOOSH, man. Like, and to be honest, ever since I stopped, I feel like I'm manifesting better. Feels like I'm vibrating better. Feels like my frequency is returning back to normal. Okay? One thing that happens when you stop smoking weed are like crazy, vivid, almost prophetic looking dreams. I'm sure if anybody smokes and has stopped taking took a break for a minute, they understand what I'm saying. Those dreams will get you. The last dream I had, I was astral projecting, and it's funny because while I was doing the astral projection, I was having problems like grounding myself. Like I kept floating away. So in order to not float away, it's crazy. I had to find somebody to attach to. So I found a guy to attach to, right? And I was like, yo, bro, let me just be here. I'm just trying to figure things out. This dude just basically like freaked out. Told his family and everything. Started praying. I was like, bro, chill out. I'm just here. And I was floating around, but I'm just trying to get a grasp of this whole experience. Let me just chill here. I'm not going to control you. I mean, I might talk to you, but I can't leave you or I'll just float away. Okay. So let's do a little deal here. A deal here. Check this out. This man went and got an exorcist. I got exorcised out of somebody. As if I was some type of demon, bro. Like he didn't even want to hear me out. I said I'm just trying to figure things out. Have some patience, bro. Have some patience. You ain't got to get the Catholic priest on me. But yeah, they did the whole thing, and then all of a sudden I woke up sweating, night sweats. I'm wondering, like, what if I actually did possess somebody? What if I did astral project? What if that is what possession is? It's just somebody astral projecting and then like landing in somebody's body. Because once they did that exorcism, I was out there. I was gone. He done casted me out. Yeah, enough of that dream. Anyway, back to manifestation, frequency, vibrations. Basically on the frequency shit. I'm sure you all heard, Bruce Lee talk about be like water. Let me play that for y'all real quick. Sharing the screen. Right. If you haven't heard it, here it is. Snap. Hold on. All right. My bad. Had a little technical difficulties. All right. Bruce Lee, be like water. If you have not heard this, check this out.
This is what it is, okay? I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Be water, my friend. And I was fishing actually yesterday, and I was looking at the water, and for some reason that Bruce Lee quote was in my head, and it was like I was looking at the ripples, right? And like I said, everything is frequency. Everything is all about frequency, vibrations, right? And what he said was be like water. As I'm looking at the water, I'm like, okay, people always tell you to manifest, right? And when you manifest, you basically put your brain waves on a certain frequency. And when you watch those ripples in the water, every ripple will make it to shore eventually. You know what I'm saying? Unless something fucks it up. A boat goes by, it fucks it up. And though in that boat, I feel it symbolizes like all the bullshit that comes in your life. That ripple that you started in your brain is going to make it to shore, and that shore is the end goal. But until you get all these bullshit boats coming through, Diddy, baby mama drama, all this bullshit money is a big one. Basically it's all just to distract you. As long as you stay like water, like that ripple, just keep going with the flow. Just keep going with the flow. Everything is gonna fall into place. I got another video here that's gonna talk more about frequencies and brain waves. Let me bring this up. Boom.
Did you know the law of vibration states that everything, including thoughts and emotions, has a unique vibrational frequency? This principle is fundamental in the universe, with all objects in constant motion. Similar frequencies attract one another, relating to the law of attraction, which suggests we attract experiences matching our dominant thoughts and emotions. To manifest desires, align your thoughts and emotions with the frequency of what you want to attract. Positive thoughts and emotions have higher vibrations, while negative ones have lower vibrations. By consciously choosing positivity, you raise your vibration and attract favorable experiences. Raise your vibrational frequency through gratitude, joyful activities, meditation, and surrounding yourself with positive people, ultimately aligning with your desired outcomes.
See what I'm saying? Like, I believe in that 100%, man. Like, you have to align your brain waves with what you want to do. Like, I say, speak as if or act as if it's already happening. You know what I'm saying? What you want all these content creators, like when they record for the first time, nobody's watching. All these people on TikTok, the biggest TikTok people, the biggest streamers and all that, that there was a time where nobody was watching. You just basically looking like a fool in front of nobody. Just talking to nobody, but you're talking as if somebody's there. Now, look at the best ones. They basically manifested where they're going to be. They just keep going. They record every single fucking day. Nobody's there. Maybe one or two people peeping. I get a subscriber here and there. Look, I have a call to action right now, okay? My call to action for you guys it's not begging, but I want y'all to hit that subscribe button, all right? Give me about 3 months, all right? We're going to have some guests. I got a dude tomorrow coming in. I'm not going to tell too much. He did, I don't know if I should say it. I'm going to say it. So I'm not going to say where he found out the information. If he wants to talk about it, he could talk about it. But this one was like, damn. This one, so basically, he was around a person, a Chinese man, who used to get bodies of homeless people, okay, and sold it to Chinese restaurants. And he said that they used to make spring rolls out of it. That's not my saying. That's what he said. We're gonna have him on tomorrow. He's gonna elaborate on some things. He did tell me more stuff about actually frequency too. He brought up Faraday cages. Y'all know what that is? A Faraday cage or a Faraday shield is an enclosure used to block some electromagnetic fields. A Faraday shield may be formed by a continuous covering of conductive material, or in the case of Faraday cage, by a mesh of such materials. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask him more tomorrow about that. I'm not going to give his name. He's going to give, I don't know if he wants to give his real name. He did say, he is a wanted man by, the higher ups, the elites. Okay. When I have him, I'll just give him the floor and we're going to have the conversation. He also hit me up. He was talking about, let me see, what was it that he sent me a list of things to look up. Black Night of the Soul. Like I said, I'm not going to get into it. You can look it up. You can look it up yourself. Black Night of the Soul. And we're going to have a talk about it tomorrow. Black Night of the Soul, Faraday cages, and like toxicity levels. They used to put like lead in paint and gasoline. And then like, that was like back in like the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, you know what I'm saying? And then people found out, it's not really good for you. So they took it out. But you have to understand, like, a lot of people are getting like dementia and all of these unnatural diseases. Wonder where they're coming from. In Florida, we just, I hope it's true, but in Florida, we just banned fluoride in our water. Word on the street, fluoride is what Nazis use to keep their population docile. But we're going to talk about it more tomorrow with my guest. Not going to give his name out. Not going to put him out there. Not going to get him in trouble. Going to let him do what he wants to do. All right, so back on like the frequencies and vibrations. You got to think about it in music too. Everything out here is trying to steal that LOOSH, you know what I'm saying? 808s. If you know about anything about like music production, hip hop, rap music, it's littered with like 808s. You feel me? So check this out. And also the thing about 808s is that it's said to lower your body's frequency, lower your vibration. And if you look at it, like early songs, like early hip hop, there was no 808s. There was no boom, boom like that. And it's all off key and everything. You know what I'm saying? It's there to disrupt. In Kanye's 808s and Heartbreaks, believe it or not, he didn't even use 808s in that album. And if he did, he used it very sparingly. He actually mostly used the 909 drum kits, which is what like hip hop was based off of in the first place. Let me share the screen. Let me play. Actually, I have a video of him actually explaining what 808s do. Let me share that screen. All right, so here is Kanye West explaining frequency manipulation in music.
In the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? The 808 exists in the lowest chakra of your body. The majority of content that's related to the 808 is killer or sexual content. The original 808s was even off pitch. So that meant it's an actual sound in the track that you don't realize is there that is fucking up your entire frequency. Right. And now today, every time I hear a car come out, it's 808. But if you think about African music and hip hop and what we breakdance to, it was light. The percussion.
Yes, sir. So there you have it, bro. Kanye himself speaking on 808s. And I mean, he is a producer. I used to produce music and I'm guilty. I used to look into how to, not control people, but to like, uplift or whatever. I was just looking in like manipulation of like frequencies when I was making music. And I figured like if the elites do it, if these record companies know about it, like I think I should learn about it too. Another thing on frequencies. Have y'all seen that thing called the Telepathy Tapes? I've been listening to it on the podcast. I think there's actually like a video version of it. But yeah, mostly I've been listening to it on Apple Podcasts. Let me bring up my notes here. Yeah, so the Telepathy Tapes. First of all, let's talk about consciousness. The definition of consciousness is that the state of being aware of oneself and the world around one. It can also refer to the relationship between the mind and the world. All right. So let's just keep that right there. Just remember that. So in the telepathy tapes, it kind of hints that like telepathy, like, and consciousness probably like exist on something similar to like radio waves. How you tune into a certain station, you got unlimited stations, and you just have to tune into it. All you have to do is have the right equipment. I'm sorry, I didn't even explain what the telepathy tapes were. The telepathy tapes, let me get an actual definition of the podcast. The Telepathy Tapes is a podcast exploring the idea that non-speaking autistic individuals may possess telepathic abilities. The show, created by documentary director Kai Dickens, investigates this concept through personal stories, expert interviews, and observational reports. The podcast also explores the possibility of facilitated communication and its potential role in facilitating communication with non-speaking individuals. And I didn't get all the way through it, but in the beginning it was talking about how like non-verbal autistic kids were basically communicating with their parents without even talking. Like the parents knew what they were saying, so it was like they were connecting to like maybe a certain frequency, certain radio wave. But what really got me is, now this one was crazy. Now, they started to talk about this, like this etheric, this metaphysical place called the Hill. And this is like where all these non-verbal autistic kids, people, they would like meet up in this, on this place called the Hill. It's like a different realm or something, you know what I'm saying? And they did tests and it's like, yeah, they are really communicating with each other. They're not even in the same room. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where they, I guess, share their experience, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is where they are vocal. They're not vocal in this realm. They're vocal on the Hill. Then that got me thinking about, if you ever heard about the Akashic records, it has Hindu origins. The term Akasha originates from Sanskrit and refers to the cosmic ether or space, which is believed to be the medium through which all things manifest, right? So this Akashic records is believed to be a universal library of or database containing all the thoughts, emotions, and experiences of every soul, past, present, and future. They are thought to be stored in a non-physical, energetic realm. Now that made me, now let's go back to consciousness. Now consciousness, like I said, it's a state of being aware of oneself and the world around it, around you. One, like what if we are able to be aware of more than the physical? And that also got me thinking about, there's this dude called, there's this dude, what's his name? Let me bring it up. All right. So there's this term quantum consciousness, and there's two guys, Penrose and Hameroff. I know the Hameroff dude, Stuart Hameroff. So the Penrose-Hameroff theory, it states that the brain isn't just a computer, but also does quantum processes inside the microtubules of neurons. Basically, your brain isn't just like a regular ones and zero computer. It's a quantum computer. And if you know anything about the double slit experiment, like atoms and particles, light particles, they experience superpositions. And in these superpositions, what that basically is just possibilities. So you shoot a particle through two slits, and you should see two slits of particles on the end. But what it shows is that basically that there's superpositions. There's possibilities of where it could be, even that it can't be there. And consciousness happens when those positions are chosen. Now, when those positions are chosen, that's when we observe it. So when somebody observes these particles, that's when they pick a side. They basically pick left or right. All the superpositions collapse, and there's just one answer there. So Hameroff is an anesthesiologist. Through his studies, he learned that drugs that knock you out mess with the microtubules. Basically, these drugs like the SSRIs also, and the anesthesias, what's it called? anesthesia, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. The shit that knocks you out. It messes with your consciousness. It turns those off. And it's like, I'm thinking back to The Hill and these autistic children who can communicate beyond the physical. And I'm like, maybe that's why they can do it, is because they're just really tuned into their quantum computer in their head. And like, what if that also like explains, precognition, psychics? You probably start to see time as non-linear. You ever see that movie Arrival? When the lady like figures out like the world's problems, she solves the world's problems by looking into the future, but into a future. She looks basically into the future that is the solution, and she doesn't really just like look into the future. The future already happened, so it's like, non-linear basically. I really suggest watching that movie, Arrival, not The Arrival. That's another movie. That's like another alien movie. I think it has Charlie Sheen in it. Not that one. That one's a good movie too, but just Arrival, not The Arrival. Arrival is with that big alien pod that lands and nobody knows what the hell to do with it. Yeah, that movie was dope as fuck. But yeah, basically like consciousness, I believe it does connect to like some type of wavelength, radio waves. And all you have to do is, tune in. And like I said, man, you gotta stay the course. You can't be giving in to that WAP, weed, alcohol, porn, and all that other stuff that steals your loosh. Be like water. You feel me? But this is just the first episode, okay? Bear with me. So this is the first episode of Mind Dump. I didn't really want to go too deep into any topics yet. Like I said, I was just gonna raw dog this whole episode. Tomorrow I will have my guest on, and he should be, look, I'm gonna just let him take it away. It should be a very interesting conversation. And I am gonna get that dude to talk about Tartaria with us, because I am into those old world technology, including those bells. But yeah, before I go, let's get that call to action. Give me 3 months, all right? Because in those 3 months I'll have my guests, and we're going to do a lot of like live shows once I get the okay on TikTok too. I got kicked off of TikTok through the Jet Fuel podcast, right? So we decided to have Grok on, right? Well, yeah, we decided to have Grok on, and for some reason, every time like I bring up a topic, he talk about Jews. Like we were trying to talk about the moon, you know what I'm saying? The origins of the moon, is it really like a physical thing? And somehow Grok somehow brought it back to the Jews. Excuse me. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I was intrigued about what Grok, the AI, had to say about the Jews and the moon. I have no idea. We didn't get that far because TikTok basically just shut us down right when he said it. He did it twice, man. He did it twice. They shut us down the first time, and then I appealed it, and I came back, and I told Grok, like, hey, man, let's not talk about the J people, okay? We're trying to build our audience. We can't build our audience if you keep getting us banned off of TikTok Live. And he's like, all right, man, all right, cool. I brought up another topic, like, I think I was trying to like talk about like Tartaria, right? Here comes Grok. He started out okay. He started, talking about technology, and then he started talking about Jews again. Like I said, I don't mind it. And on this Mind Dump episode, and on this Mind Dump podcast, you could talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. But I guess when it's on a fucking TikTok, you gotta be careful. You can't talk about Jews. You can't talk about retarded people, or just you can't just talk about retard. You can't say retard. What else can I not say? I'm not sure. Like we didn't talk about China. I know it's a Chinese company, right? And to be honest, if I keep getting banned, well, like I have a feeling that if I go to China, like they got that social credit score. I have a feeling that if I go to China, I won't be able to do certain things already. Like they already got me on that. They already got me on a low social credit score. I probably got like a 400 400 after like out of like 800. Probably can't get no food after a certain time. I probably got a, what's it called? I probably got a curfew or some shit. Probably can't get a driver's license. I don't know. But yeah, I'm on TikTok's bad side on Jet Fuel Podcast. I did make my own Jordy Jets profile. I don't have live capabilities yet, but when I do, I will be getting on that. We are not going to have Grok talk on any lives since he is basically unhinged. And what's crazy is they have the unhinged version of Grok, yet the regular Grok still got us banned or got our privileges taken away. Currently, we do have it back on the Jet Fuel Podcast, so we're going to play around with it. But that's one of the reasons why I decided to split the podcast. That one's already like on a bad road on TikTok. And I do want to do a lot of more live shows, so we might move over to Kick. That's what David told me to get on. He said, you could do whatever the hell you want to do on Kick, man. I was like, all right, cool. Let's do I'm going to do my conspiracy stuff on Kick, and I'll probably bring Grok on that so he can actually talk. Like I said, guys, just give me 3 months. Hit subscribe, 5 stars. Just give me 3 months, bro. Give me 3 months. If y'all don't like where this is going in 3 months, unsubscribe. All right? That's my call to action. I'm not begging, but just give me that 3 months of subscription of a follow on whatever podcast platform, but preferably either Spotify or Apple. Those are the ones that I can keep track of the best. YouTube too. Follow it on YouTube. But yeah, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off of this right now, and we'll come back tomorrow with my special guest, and we should have some fun with that. But if you made it this far, thank you. Like I said, hit that subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow and plenty more. Give me 3 months, guys. Jordy Jets out.